Hi, this is Michael Tallis with the Tallis team. Today we're going to talk about the steps you need to take in order to buy a house. Let's jump right in. Step number one, it should be right time for you to buy a home. The question you need to answer is, how long am I going to stay in the area? If you're going to stay in the house in the area for 1 to 3 years, I would say, well, continue renting. 4 or 5 years, well, maybe, depending on the market conditions and your personal situation. But if you're going to stay in the area for 7 or more years, definitely go out and buy. You also should have time to allocate to this home buying project. Just to find a home that you would like to buy may take from a few weeks to a few months, not even talking about other steps you need to do in order to complete the purchase. And a word of warning, don't try to time the market. Even if you are buying at a little higher market during spring months or a little lower market during winter months, it may not be that critical if you are thinking about 10-year time of ownership. Just to give you a reference point, Bay Area home prices increased by more than 170% since 2010. Step number two, prepare your finances. First of all, check your credit score. If it's on the lower side, you may have trouble obtaining a loan on favorable terms. So talk to your lender, and if necessary, we need to work on improving your credit score. And if you just moved from overseas, you may not have US credit history at all, and you will have to build one up. Then you have to prepare your down payment. It's a financial management decision. Think about managing your cash versus cash flow. If you're putting 20% down, your monthly payment will be a little bit higher than if you're putting 40% down for the house of the same value. Also, a lot of lenders will require at least minimum of 20% down in order to avoid private mortgage insurance, PMI. But we're aware of a number of programs where you can put as little as 5% down and buy a home up to $2 million value. In order to submit an offer, you will need a letter from your lender. Letters range from pre-qualification, when it's a rough estimate of how much you can borrow, to pre-approval, when you have to submit a loan application and all supporting documents, to pre-underwriting. In that case, you submit all paperwork and the lender does all their work as if you're getting a loan today. The only thing that is still missing is the house and the appraisal in order for you to get a loan. This level of pre-approval, pre-underwriting, potentially can shorten your escrow period and you will be able to close on your purchase faster. Don't hesitate to shop around for a lender. A lot of people are concerned if they're asking multiple lenders to pull their credit score will go down. That's not the case. If all these inquiries are done within a short period of time, let's say 2 to 4 weeks, the credit agency consider that as one hard pull, and there is no danger to you, to the level of your credit score. Also, another word of warning. When you are shopping for a loan and when you are ready to get a home, be careful with large purchases. If you need to close credit cards or buy a car, don't do that without talking to your lender. Step 3. Select a realtor. Yes, you can do it on your own, but I would not recommend you doing that unless you are very, very, very experienced. Keep in mind that majority of homes available for sale are already represented by the realtor working for the seller. And they're already committed to getting the highest price for their client, the seller. So if you want to ask them to write a contract for you, it's a conflict of interest. They're already working for someone else. So do your search, go on Google and type realtor near me, talk to your friends and family, and identify a few people you want to interview, a few realtors you want to interview. What's important? Proven track record, local knowledge, and someone you just like working with. It is also important to hire a realtor who regularly represents both buyers and sellers. It's critical for them to understand both sides when they're negotiating a purchase for you. And what if you have a cousin who bought a home for herself in a neighboring county? Don't worry, most of the realtors will gladly pay her a referral fee, so you can still have a pleasant Thanksgiving together. Step number 4, learn the market and set your home search criteria. Start with as wide area as possible and look at as many homes as you possibly can. Your realtor will set showing appointments for you, or you can go to open houses. When we work with our clients, we prefer to go with them for first 1 or 2 or 3 weekends, and that way we can learn about what they like, and also we can share thoughts about the homes that are not obvious to people that just starting their search. Each home you will be looking at will present you with a set of compromises, features that you must have or good to have. Features that are must have are typically things that are hard to change, like location for commute or schools, a quiet street, a lot size for development potential, things like that. Things that are good to have typically are easier to change. Yes, it will add cost, but that can be done after you purchase the home. Things like recessed lighting, upgraded kitchens and bathrooms, hardwood floors, things like that. Take good notes and follow the homes even if you like them just a little bit, so you know how fast they sell and for how much. That way, when you see a home you really want to put an offer for, you can jump in with confidence. Step number 5. Select a home and do your due diligence. So after looking at the market for a little while, you see a home that you imagine yourself living in. That's when we have to start moving fast. Most of homes in the Bay Area are selling after the first weekend of open houses. And one reason for that is that the sellers are preparing all disclosures up front and they're available for download right after you see the home. So the disclosures are typically available at the time when home goes on the market. The disclosures include all required seller disclosures, property inspection, termite inspection, natural hazard disclosures, and much more. So work with your realtor to identify the documents that will provide you the most information about the condition of the house, and you can review them first. Typical disclosure packet will be 200 to 400 pages long, and maybe even longer if homeowner association or HOA docs are present. So take your time to review all the documents to learn as much as possible about the condition of the house. Ask your questions and work with your realtor so the seller can answer all your questions. In parallel with that, get competitive market analysis, CMA. This way, you will understand the range, how much this home is worth in current market conditions. And also go back to have a second look. If everything checks and you still like the home, it is critical to experience the home on your own, not at the open house. So your realtor can schedule a showing and you can be in the home yourself with your family and get a feel for it. And now we're ready for step 6, write and submit an offer. We submit an offer as a package. It includes the offer itself. Actually, it's a purchase contract with just your signatures. It becomes a binding contract when seller signs it. It also includes a letter from your lender, then proof of funds showing that you have enough cash on hand in order to cover the down payment and closing costs, and signed disclosures, basically showing that you reviewed the disclosures and you got yourself familiar with them. The offer is the document that will require the most of your input. First of all, the price, how much you are willing to pay for this particular house. The price is then split into 3 components. One is earnest money deposit, the money that you will need to bring into escrow right after contract is ratified. Then the loan, how much of a loan you need to take, and then the balance of down payment. Earnest money deposit plus a balance of down payment together will make your down payment, basically how much cash you're bringing into the transaction. Then offer contains terms. For example, close of escrow. How much time do you need to close the transaction? That's typically how long it will take for your lender to produce a loan. Then it contains contingencies. Property condition contingency and financial are most common. And in our area, in our current market, most of the offers are non-contingent. So basically the buyers are saying, I will buy your house regardless of everything else. It also in the offer are miscellaneous conditions like whether or not washer, dryer, and refrigerator are included with sale. We typically spend at least an hour or more with our clients reviewing the offer, especially first time when we're putting it together. So when the offer is ready and all documents are signed, we're sending them to the sellers. And if stars aligned right and everything is going well, your offer will get accepted, and we will be ready for step number 7. Step number 7, escrow processing. The first thing you will need to do is to bring earnest money deposit into escrow. It's typically done by wire transfer, and you will have 1 to 3 days in order to deliver the money. Then, depending on your contract, for example, if you have property condition contingencies, we may need to order additional inspections, bring in contractors to estimate the repairs, and potentially renegotiate the selling price with the seller. In our area, we typically don't negotiate repairs. So we are not sending repair requests to the sellers. We talk about credits towards. So, for example, if the home requires fumigation and it is a $3,000 estimate, we may negotiate a reduction in price or a credit towards this work. In parallel with that, the loan processing is happening. So your lender will have to order appraisal, and then you have to submit all missing documents in order for them to process the loan. So at the end of this process, typically takes 20 to 30 days. We will have loan documents ready and all contingencies removed, and we will be ready for signing. Step number 8, sign off and closing. So when the loan docs are ready, they're delivered to escrow, and the escrow company will schedule sign-off time with you. So your signatures can be notarized. You will sign the loan documents as well as ownership transfer documents that are required in that case. At the end of the signed-off, you will receive the balance of down payment plus closing cost. So how much money you need to bring into escrow in order to close the transaction. When you deliver this money, and the money from the lender will come in, the escrow company will release all the documents for recording in the county. And at the moment of recording at the county, you become the official owner of this home. We get notified when the transaction is recorded, and that is the time when we transfer the keys. We will get, if I'm representing you, I will get the keys from the sellers and deliver them to you. And that will wrap up the transaction, and you are ready for the next step, moving in. This is Michael Tallis with the Tallis team, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and I would love to answer all of them. Thank you for watching, and till next time.